he would have had well-founded and serious concerns for her safety. Rumors were now floating. Information leaked into some dark crevices in certain correctional halls where twisted cretins lurked in the shadows. Word was that the thing actually existed. It had survived, and with the right information, it might be found. Some of these people were crazy. All of them were dangerous. Many of them ethnic fanatics, nutcases who would kill in a heartbeat if they thought they had the slightest chance to lay hands on it. Then there were others, people who might pay vast sums, if only to lock it away behind glass in the confines of a private collection. Something to share over evening cocktails in the intimate gathering of other affluent friends. It was, after all, one of a kind, an original, like a Monet, only more lurid. A vivid and well-recorded piece of history. As to its ultimate monetary value, who could say? It depended on the bidders, how many, who they were, the depth of their pockets, and, perhaps most important, the intensity of the dark impulses that drove them to have it. The trick for any seller was to get it and to stay alive long enough to deal with the right people. At the moment, what was gnawing at him was the possibility that the police might stumble over the key and take it by mistake. If they found it, they might assume that the box it opened could contain evidence they were searching for. They would take the key and worry about finding the bank and the box it belonged to later. It would have been nice if the police had waited one more day. By then, he would have been in and out of the house, had what he wanted, and been gone. There was more than a fair chance that once inside he could locate the key. Unlike the others, the stumble-bums who couldn't wait and who trashed the place and terrified the old man, he knew exactly what he was looking for. He would recognize the toolmaker's stamp the instant he saw it. That is, if the key was still there. He watched the house as police kept coming and going. He thought about getting out of the car and wandering up to mingle with the neighbors to see if any of them knew what was going on, why the cops were there, what they were looking for, and when they might be done. He quickly dismissed the idea. He noticed two of the uniforms were working the small crowd with pens and notepads. They were talking to people, taking names and jotting down notes. Why? He didn't know, and he didn't want to find out. Better to remain anonymous, keep his distance, wait, and hope for opportunity. It didn't take long to present itself. Just before 3 in the afternoon, the cops wrapped up. The last bag of stuff came out of the house, and one of the uniformed officers started cutting and pulling the yellow tape from around the tree and off the fence. One of the squad cars pulled a U-turn and headed out the other way. A few minutes later, it was followed by the van. The dwindling bunch of neighbors that remained began to break up. They drifted back toward their homes and the dull existence of normal life. Only the one squad car remained, 2 of the uniformed cops left behind to close up. He zoomed in with the spotting scope on the area around the open front door. He was wondering how they had gained access to the house, whether the daughter had let them in, though he hadn't seen any sign of her. Or had the cops taken the door down, broken the lock, or called in a locksmith? The answer came almost immediately. An older woman was standing near the front stoop with the 2 cops. She had a small dog in her arms. She leaned over, pushed the door, and kind of pitched the animal into the house as one of the cops quickly closed the door behind it. As it shut, the push-button lock swung out of the indoor shadows and into bright sunlight. The woman leaned over, studied it for a second, and then began to press the 4-digit code into the keypad. He watched through the scope as her finger moved over the buttons, then pushed the lock button. She waited a second, then checked the latch. It was locked. The neighbor woman must have let them in to save the door from being destroyed by the cops. He grabbed a pen from his pocket and made a quick note on the palm of his hand. He looked at the time, 3:28.